the speech yet, Madam Speaker?
Because it was the courteous thing to do, considering the alternative.
And AOC probably is glad she didn't come, because if you're a committed socialist, this speech was a speech from hell, because it talked about freedom, the power of the individual versus the power of government. It talked about prosperity for all, best achieved through economic growth, lower taxes, less regulation. This is a speech a socialist could not stand. And to Speaker Pelosi, you can tear up the speech, but you can't tear up the accomplishments. And that's what this race is going to be about in 2020.
It felt like it. It was such an immediate moment. And I just don't, I've been to a lot of State of the Union addresses as a member of Congress, and now this was my fourth as a Vice President of the United States. And there's always a basic decorum and a basic respect. But to have her stand up and tear up that speech really dishonored the moment, and I really thought it was beneath the dignity of a joint session of Congress, and I think it'll be remembered as such.
Amy works full-time and volunteers countless hours helping other military families. For the past 7 months, she has done it all while her husband, Sergeant First Class Townsend Williams, is in Afghanistan on his 4th deployment in the Middle East. Amy's kids haven't seen their father's face in many months. Amy, your family's sacrifice makes it possible for all of our families to live in safety and in peace, and we want to thank you. Thank you, Amy. There is one more thing. Tonight we have a very special surprise. I am thrilled to inform you that your husband is back from deployment. He is here with us tonight, and we couldn't keep him waiting any longer.
Nancy Pelosi tearing up the president's State of the Union address. That was before her, as she stood next to the vice president. The president obviously had his back to her at the time. What did he say when he learned that that was happening and that happened?
Well, that's typical her, though. We've seen it here again and again. I've seen it in the Situation Room, saw it in the Cabinet Room twice, saw it in another meeting. She has a temper tantrum, and then she leaves, but now the country saw it. There's no silly picture of her standing with all those men around the cabinet.
Okay, and then let me ask you about the moment that's
America
on the screen
saw
now.
An incorrigible child ripping up a presidential State of the Union that is meant for the people.